Man United won, AC Milan won in a awful performance, man. Seriously, it just highlights everything that's wrong with us as per usual. Just sums us up. It absolutely sums us up. We just bottle it when it really matters, when we really have to battle down the hatches, get through a bad performance or a difficult spell in the match. We can't do it. That's the first thing. Secondly, AC Milan had just as many injuries as us, if not more. Not an excuse. Thirdly, we've missed absolute sitters. Harry Maguire, shocking. I don't care if he's a defender. I don't care if he's a goalkeeper. You don't miss from 1 yard. Dan James had to score as well. Midfield two of Matic and McTominay, poor. Ball retention, poor. Dominance in midfield, non-existent. The forwards, I'm not really going to go in them, and we couldn't really get them the ball. But it showed we missed Rashford. Martial injured, not great. The bright light, Amad Diallo, fantastic goal. Bruno, brilliant ball again. Ollie, there was limited things on the bench in terms of attacking wise. We only had two attackers in Shola and Amad. But to just change it to a back five and just invite them on, I was surprised at that. I really didn't think we should have done that. If anything, I would have just kept it the same and put Luke Shaw on for Tellez as a left back and go for it that way. But he obviously, he probably saw it as he had to take off Bruno and Wan-Bissaka. But it's just poor. Dean Henderson must do better. Listen, I'm not going to bash him completely and go in on him, but you want to be Man United keeper, you want to be number one. The press want to push the agenda for him to start the games. He's got to do better. You've got to save that. He's dived back in towards the goal. All he has to do is go upwards with the fist. That's it. You know, a strong fist gets rid of that. It's right at him. He's got to do better than that, and he will know that. Why is the free header even happened? Last minute of the game. Very similar to the Everton game. 3-3. Last minute, battle down the hatches and just get out after being 2-0 up. Can you see the game out? You've got yourself back in it. We can't do it. We cannot do it. And it is the same issues that keep happening with this squad. Some of it is down to the coaching and the way that we set up, because let's face it, AC Milan played us off the park at times today, I felt. But having said that, we had the best chances in terms of an open goal on the line and two open goals. So if you think of it like that, we should have scored at least 3 goals. We were very lucky not to have Scott McTominay sent off today as well. Poor decision from the ref, but I'm not complaining, but you have to say we were lucky. And their goal, very dubious. I'm still waiting to see an angle where it shows it was the definite handball, because I'm not so sure. So a real bad day at the office. But when the chips are down like that, you've got to show character, man. You've got to show that you can come through the game. You've got to show some accountability. You've got to show some leadership. You've got to show some grit, some determination. Void of it. Void. All you need to do is see that out and get to the San Siro having not conceded an away goal because you played shit. Couldn't do it. And it's a common theme. I think what we are seeing is yes, we need to be in for a defender. We need to be in for a striker. But that central midfield area, it's just not good enough. You know, people are getting onto Matic and McTominay today because they were poor. They were absolutely poor. And their service into the strikers is not good enough. But Ricky made a good point. Although he is kind of defending his man Matic, when you think about it, whether it's McTominay and Matic, McTominay and Fred and Matic, it ain't good enough. You can't polish a shit. That's what we're trying to do. It's like trying to get antiseptic wipes and hold a shit in your hand and wipe it clean. You can't do that. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not being disrespectful to them players because they have certain roles to play within a team, but eventually it keeps coming back to the same thing. We're not good enough in that area. We're just not good enough in that area. It's not good enough. Do you know what I mean? So whichever of the combination plays, it's not good enough. Whoever plays, their passing isn't good enough, or the mobility doesn't go. They don't go together. We're saying that the partnerships don't work. Now, I know people are going to say, well, when we was winning, it's not an issue. I get that. But usually when we win with these type of players playing, they have to play a certain way, i.e. how we play against City. That's where we see the best. And it is about context, and it is difficult because we are second, but I keep seeing these same things happen, which is why I predicted it would be a very tough game today. I thought we'd nick it 1-0, cagey, which we were looking like we were going to do right up until the last minute. But AC Milan proved they can ball out, they can play, And we struggled with that. It's like they had too much for us, even with 6 injuries out. 6 or so players out. So that's concerning. And to go over to San Siro now, we've got to score. If we have to go there with exactly the same team, I'll be very, very worried. We need players back by then for sure. Luke Shaw needs to come back in. He'll probably go back to Victor Lindelof at the back and go back to his best team. And we need to hope. Well, let's face it, I don't think Pogba's going to be fit by then. In a week's time, is he really going to be ready to start that game? Absolutely not. And neither's Van der Beek. So really, we're going to have Matic and Fred, or McTominay and Fred probably. I think he'll go back with Bruno. Will obviously come back. And we need to hope that Rashford's fit. It proves why, when he's out or why he has to play so much. We just do not have the quality in depth. We just don't. I thought we did at one stage. And when I look at it, I just think how much is changing, because for you can look at the City results, but they're just isolated results. When you deep it on a consistent level, the type of football we play is just not sustainable. We're just relying on our good players to make stuff happen. Amad Diallo, when he came on, breath of fresh air, brilliant. What a run that was. Brilliantly found by Bruno. Chicharito header, brilliant goal. That's a positive. But when you look at how we responded after scoring, it was even worse. Even worse, man. And I don't know. For me, I think we've got a lot to work on, and it is very, very worrying, because if Milan get players back, they're only going to go a level up. And I know you can say we can get our players back too, but we've seen what we're like at our best with our players fit. Yeah? There isn't much difference in the football. There really isn't. It is unforgivable misses and an unforgivable mistake by Dean Henderson at the end there. But essentially, were we good enough to win the game? No, we wasn't. It would have been a proper smash and grab. Even if we would have taken those 2 chances and been 3-1 up or 3-0 up or whatever you want to call it, even that would have felt like a bit of a smash and grab. I wouldn't have cared, because it's about getting the result. I understand it. But now we haven't got the result. You have to say you got what you deserve. Scott McTominay as well should have got sent off. His passing is just not good enough for this level or for where we want to be. Does Scott McTominay have a place in the side? I believe he does. I think he's a good, energetic, combative player. If you play him in the right games alongside top quality, where you've got loads of other quality around him, he can be a functioning cog of the wheels. You can. I don't mind that. But to be starting and be our main guy for a lot of these games, like he's becoming, he's not good enough for Man United. It's just not. And it's not just him. Fred's the same. I like Fred, and he's become integral to our team. But again, we need better in that position. The issue is not necessarily with the individual as a player, because they're getting picked, they've been bought, they're doing the best that they can do. The issue is that these guys are our main guys. That's the issue. If you're bringing on a Fred after 70 minutes because Pogba and one other has done the business and you want to shore it up, fine. You need players like a Fred in your team, in your squad. You need players like a McTominay in your squad. But that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing these as the go-to guys, and they're not specialists in their position. Fred is not a defensive midfielder, and neither is Scott McTominay. And Matic his best days are past him. So for me, I don't like to see it. It shows naivety as well. We're not learning from the same mistakes. I don't know what we're working on in training. Again, free header from a set piece, exactly the same as Everton, even though that was a lot deeper a free kick or a set piece than the corner that we conceded. It happened last season. I remember it happened in the last minute against Southampton. Conceded set piece. It just keeps happening. So a lot to work on, man. And this could be a real sticky week. Going into this West Ham game, we need players back. If we go with the same team again, you look at the bench as well. My God. In one way, I do look at it as thinking, what was there in terms of attacking? You're not going to throw young Shola into a game of that magnitude. If Martial didn't get injured, we wouldn't even have seen Ahmad. Let alone him come on to score like that. We wouldn't have even seen him if Martial didn't get injured. Then you had 4 defenders and 2 keepers. Because of the injuries, we don't have the quality. The squad's not good enough. And that is what we keep seeing. And that is why we're going to still see a result like City, followed and then previously a result like Crystal Palace, followed by a result like City, followed by a result like this, might go and beat West Ham, followed by scraping through against AC Milan or worse, lose the game. That's why we're getting the disparity between the performances. There's no level of consistency with anything we do apart from inconsistency. Inconsistency is the only consistency that we actually have. you know. And when you look at it, I do think it is actually nuts that we're second. When you think about it. I know this is the Premier League, but this is Europa League, but it is crazy because we must be doing something right at times. But how sustainable is this? Really disappointing, man. Proper disappointing for me. My man of the match, I'll just say Ahmad. I'll just say Ahmad because he came on, got a goal, and he should have had the headlines, the young kid, you know, getting us through a difficult tie where we haven't performed well with a clean sheet. But the rest of the team didn't do their jobs. You know, they didn't do their jobs, and it's all to do out there in Milan. And if we go out of that, not even at the semi-final stage this time, not that it's good to go out then, but that won't be acceptable. Then Ollie's banking on the FA Cup to win, and it's not acceptable. We've got to kick on. And the top four race, if we don't get the right result against Man City, could be completely back on again. So big games, we've got to dust ourselves off and go again. But I just feel that we're always teetering on the edge of just going into a slump where we might finish the season badly. But it's halfway. We've got to hold the judgment yet. If we go out of it, crashing out, then the inquest can begin. But it's 1-1. We're currently losing the tie on away goals. We have to go there and put in a performance. We have to go there and score. Simple as that. Unless we get a 2-2, yeah, another 1-1 is not good enough, you know. So we'll only be drawing. So we've got to go there and score and keep a clean sheet, or get more than a 2-2 draw. So for me, it's all to play for, and it's going to be very, very difficult. My man of the match, like I said, Ahmad, just because of the goal, brilliant impact, and the kid should have got the headlines, but we fluffed it as per usual. Anyway, go again Sunday. I'll see you there, guys. Peace.